Hey guys, welcome to this Scale Back Your Time webinar. And today we're going to talk about um, how I've been able to generate a seven-figure business and agency without sacrificing my time. Um, and you'll see kind of like where I came from in terms of, you know, building and selling my first agency uh, with no time. Literally was working from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m., right, which sucked. But going through how I, you know, stop doing that and finally build the business that I love, right, that allows me to have more time with my kids and also more profits. So we're going to go over how I'm doing it, and in this master class I'll show you kind of underneath the hood of my own agency on the things that I'm doing to attract affluent clients with discretionary income for my own agency, and also how we're getting that for my local lead gen clients, so that way uh, theoretically, after you guys watch this entire thing, you guys can essentially replicate what I'm doing, even without a $10,000 course that I know you guys are, looking to buy with other quote unquote agency gurus that don't even have an agency anymore, right? So we're going to go over that. So first, we're going to tell kind of how I got to this new way of running your agency, and then I will show you how I'm doing it in real time. So that way, at the end, you can just hit the ground running and do it yourself, right? So cool. So who am I for the people that don't know? My name is Jordan Loriaga, and I built a seven-figure agency in less than 3 years, my first one. And I eventually got that acquired by an Inc. 5000 marketing agency. Uh, they appointed me CMO of that marketing agency, and I increased their sales to 450K a month, which is awesome, right? Um, but quickly found out that working for somebody else, even though I started off as an entrepreneur, right, built and sold my own agency, didn't like working for anybody else, even though the money was great, and also didn't have time with my family. So eventually left that and started um, Aesthetic Bosses, right? Which grew that to a seven-figure agency in less than a year. And hey, Jacob, I'm going to go ahead and uh, grew that to a seven-figure agency in less than a year, and while also being appointed CMO of an actual clinic, a med spa, and took them from 0 to 150K a month in less than 1 year, right? So a lot of growth here without sacrificing my time, which we'll get into, right? Scaled five seven-figure clinics, scaled 40 plus six-figure businesses, coached 100 plus agency owners, and served 100 plus agency clients, right? So like I was that guy, right? I just want to start off with this. Like, I was that guy showing that the screenshots, right? Which some of you have probably seen, my Stripe account, testimonials, yada, 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 right? It was great on paper. And I was getting the testimonials, right? 100, you know, even on the screen, 60K to 114K a month. Met my weekly sales quota or generated 60K a month in body contouring, right? It was great. But on paper, it looked great on paper, but here's what my life actually looked like as a workaholic, right? Some of you might say that's a good thing, right? Grinding or whatever, but I believe in building an online business where you get back your time, right? That's why this program is called Scale Back Your Time, where, one, I didn't even take time off when my son was born. Nuts, right? And kind of what sparked this whole thing of, teaching, agency owners and online business owners the right way of, scaling a lead gen agency or scaling an agency in general or a coaching program where you're not working 24/7, because I believe that you should, as an online business owner, have time freedom. Otherwise, why do it, right? We left our 9 to 5 jobs. Did we leave our 9 to 5 jobs just to be an employee in our own business? I don't think so, right? So, one of the things that sparked this program is, here's an actual text from my wife that you could see here. my daughter was trying to emulate what I'm doing, and she said, I'm going to be the workiest girl. I'm going to work like daddy does. And after that day, right, stopped what I was doing, started delegating, started, actually developing a product that gives results, right, to my agency clients. So churn is less, and also I do less and profit more, right? I pursued entrepreneurship to have more time, not less. So if you're wanting to grind and not have more of your time back, you're at the wrong place, right? So here was my life with my old agency, right? Working 18-hour days, chained to my business, neglecting my family and friends because I had no time. Stress levels were high because I was doing everything. I'm sure a lot of people can relate, especially those running a lead gen agency. Constantly worrying about my clients' ads because, I was the one creating the campaigns, and, I would literally wake up every morning to check the performance of my clients' ads. Like literally, you know what I mean? I couldn't turn it off, right? Uh, Clients were contacting me 24/7. I myself was fixing tech issues. Clients were leaving because they were getting quote unquote garbage leads. Um, they were leaving because no shows were through the roof. And I was constantly thinking about sales each month, right? How many people can relate to that, right? And you can't push past the 100K month because hey, you maybe make a sale 3K retainer just to have them, you know, stay for like a month or two. And really, how can you scale, right? As a business owner, literally, if my life right here on this slide, speaks to you, or you're experiencing something like this, and, let me read the last two parts. Chargebacks were a regular part of business. Profit margins were less, you know what I mean? 40, 30%, right? Um, that's no way of like scaling, right? And, you know, people that you see on, agency groups where they flash their, 100K month Stripe account, I guarantee you, if they're doing it the old way, they have no time. Profit margins are probably around 20, 30%, and they're thinking about their business constantly. And really, why do that? You know what I mean? Um, why do that, right? It's not a life that I wanted to do, right? So when I started my agency, my service offering looked like this, right? I would teach client acquisition, ad strategy, branding, marketing strategy, content strategy, the whole gamut of what I believed was how people should run an agency. Sorry, I just wanted to see if I was recording. That would suck if I was not. But yeah, my agency looked like this, and quite frankly, uh, a lot of agency owners do that, right? They think that they need to add more in order to compete, when really we're just adding to our stress levels, and really we're not even profiting at that point, right? So I tried to do everything, one-stop shop, right? How many ads have we seen from other agency owners trying to claim that they're a one-stop shop, right? Had to worry about the little things that were not making an impact. Had to worry about, disabled ad accounts, A2P 10DLC verifications, right? Which is crazy in itself. You know what I mean? Client approvals taking forever, making excuses. The clients blame me for everything. Constantly thinking about work, even with your family and friends. That's a big one for me. And not delivering results because, one, you said you were a one-stop shop, but really, your clients are not viewing it that way, right? I decided enough was enough. So I decided to focus on one thing, right? One thing that I can put out into the market where I can get really good at, and I can deliver to my clients uh, while working less and profiting more because they stay longer, right? And it all stems from branding, um, which dictated the offer generation strategy, which dictated the content strategy, which dictated the ad strategy, which dictated the client acquisition strategy. But it all stems from, uh, sorry, there's more people hopping on here. It all stemmed from branding, right? And enter in what I'm calling the authority funnel, is where, and again, for the people who just hopped on here, just giving you an overview on what the authority funnel is. Here, I'm going to meet you. I'm going to mute you for those who just hopped on here. Feel free to unmute if you have any questions. But I'm going to go through what an authority funnel is. If you missed the front half, you can catch the recording on like how I got here. I'm going to go through what the authority funnel is, and I'm actually going to show you kind of what's underneath the hood in kind of real time and real life examples, right? But we use Instagram as our landing page, right? We use Instagram as our landing page, and we use content to nurture and pre-sell our high ticket offers to attract affluent clients with discretionary income, right? And we use content top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel to indoctrinate them, to communicate value, to package up your years of experience, your years of expertise, your unique ways of doing things, and sell them on high ticket services, whether it be your own or your clients, before they even say the price. And that's powerful, right? For those of you in local legion, there's a lot of variables that we can't account for, right? So, how good is their front desk team? Are they actually calling enough? You know what I mean? Um, uh, and all that stuff. Or even the overhead, especially if you're a local lead gen agency, right? There's a lot of things that us as marketers can't account for. And when we position ourselves as a one-stop shop, of course they blame us, right? Of course they blame us when shit hits the fan because no one wants to blame themselves. You know what I mean? So doing it this way leads to higher profits because we are coming at it from a branding perspective and a growth partnership, right? We'll go more into it, I promise you, right? So to backtrack here, we use Instagram as our landing page. We use content to nurture and pre-sell. And then we set appointments in the DMs, right? And doing this, we typically see a lot of inbound messaging, right? Not outbound. Imagine how powerful that is, right? Even for yourselves. I don't know about you guys, but I've been receiving a lot of outbound messages of like, hey, I see you're not doing anything with email, right? Or hey, do you need a copywriter? It's getting annoying, quite frankly, right? And when I see those things, I don't even respond, as someone that they're trying to target because it's interrupting my day and I'm not looking for it. And ultimately in 2024, things are changing, right? Things are changing more to a value-driven approach first, nurturing through value-driven approach, attracting attention via short-form content, and nurturing through long-form content. Gone are the days where we can. I'm going to stop sharing here so I can tell you guys. Gone are the days are, or the days are gone where we can just slap on a stock image, still image, stock image ad, possibly made on Canva for our clients to a booking page. You might generate a lot of leads that way, but as we've all experienced, turnover is high because they perceive it as garbage leads. These bookings don't show up, and ultimately they leave after a month or two, and we can't scale, right? Let me see here in the chat. Gotcha. And that we can't scale. So doing it this way leads to better results. And then we qualify through video surveys or what I'm calling a virtual consult. And I'll give you guys a real life example here where, at least in my niche and what I've experienced in my niche and, proven with other niches is a lot of people don't move forward with a high ticket service or a service in general. One, they don't believe that it'll work for them, especially here in aesthetics, because my niche is med spas, but also they don't have the time to talk with an individual, right? Because, it's 2024 now. COVID's not necessarily a thing anymore. Everyone's, going about their days and whatnot. So, qualifying from a video survey or a virtual consult gives that rush of dopamine to the consumer, and we position it as such. Hey, take 5 minutes to see if X is right for you, right? Or in this instance, take 5 minutes to talk with Dr. Oakland, and I'll give you a life example with Dr. Oakland to see if rhinoplasty is right for you. So we've eliminated that objection of this won't work for me, or I don't have the time, or whatever, right? Because people only buy when the value we present to them is greater than the cash they give us. But if we don't even have the chance to give them value, of course we're dead in the water, right? So acknowledging that, starting with content, right? We go to a virtual consult to one, appeal to people's attention spans because we want to capture them quick. And once we do, right, we've delivered value, we've kind of stimulated their dopamine receptors. And when they actually do book an appointment, they actually show up, right? Or more so than if we began the relationship from a stock image, still image ad to booking page. Makes sense, guys? So the era of personal branding is here, right? No matter the industry. And people don't they don't buy into what you do, they buy into who you are, right? And in any industry, whether it be aesthetics, HVAC, what's another one? Solar, right? They're not necessarily looking for the offers anymore because here's the thing. There's more and more agencies popping up every day, right? Every day, whether it be local lead gen, whether it be content, right? I know a few of you here on the call. All these offers people have seen. And if people have seen it, right, it's a commodity, right? So they'll always, when they book a call with you, they'll always go for the cheapest option. Or if they do want to go with you, they'll be price. They'll ask you on the price. Hey, can you go down on price? Which is not a bad thing when you first start, right? I still do it, especially with this group is fairly new, right? But that's not where we want to stay. And where people, you know, immediately give you $5,000 to $10,000 for your own agency, like off the bat, paid in full for yourself, and even for your clients, right? Is when they understand the value. Again, when the value we present to them is greater than the cash they give us. And how do we do that in a world where attention with everybody, like everything is fighting for people's attention? You know what I mean? Whether they're, scrolling on Instagram or whatever. How do we compete? It's when we do something else, right? And we promote something that, quite frankly, no one can take away from you. It's you, right? Your unique way of doing things, how you present it, right? The solution that you provide from a personal level, your core messaging, and all that stuff stems from personal branding. And not only you as agency owners can benefit, but your clients as well, right? And because the main thing I focus is personal branding and not marketing tactics, CRM stuff, AI, which, quite frankly, I still do for some clients, but it's not the main thing. And it's not the main focus. You're building a better product, right? And the reason being is when you're focusing on personal branding, everything is a compounding effect, right? So literally, as you're signing these clients and as you're working with your own, agency clients, if you're focusing in on building their authority so they can attract affluent clients with discretionary income, so they can maximize their ROI, so they can, right, start to sell people without them actually coming in, that's a compounding effect. And to be very transparent with you, I'm very upfront on what this is too, right? Building authority is not, an overnight success. It does take creating content. It does create testing out messaging. It does creating a content framework that works. And, we use paid ads here as a proxy to uncover what content frameworks that do work for my clients. And then we double down on that. But it does take time, right? Ergo, it's almost like it's almost like SEO, right? Where we're positioning it as like, hey, we're building a foundation. It's going to take more than 3 months, but at the end of it, literally no one can compete with you because you've established yourself as an authority. You're swimming in a blue ocean. And ultimately, everyone wants to be the best around, right? For instance, doctors do, lawyers do, HVAC services do, right? When people think of HVAC in Colorado, that business owner that you partner up with, they want to be viewed as the person that anybody in their local area turns to. And how do we do that? Through personal branding, right? Through the authority funnel. So here's the roadmap from 0 to 30K a month for people that are just starting out, or if you're established, here's how to, get to 30K a month of clients that you actually like to work with, clients that don't suck, clients that, don't blow up your Slack or text like every 5 minutes saying like, hey, did you, this creative sucks, or hey, these leads are garbage. You know what I mean? So here's a roadmap from 30 to 50K, right? So define your principles. Like, what is your core messaging other than the services that you bring, other than your offers, right? What do you believe in, right? Which is key, not just for yourself, but for your clients. So, for instance, one of my core values is getting back your time. That's why this program is called Scale Back Your Time, right? And I'm willing to bet, you know, if you've been through kind of my funnel and whatnot, you're a type of agency owner that is just sick of the grind, right? There's a program for people that want to grind, that want to work, every day and every hour of the day. It's not here, right? So I'm only attracting people that want to do what I do while getting back their time, right? So that's one of my principles that I kind of exuberate through my own content, right? Create your $1 million offer. I don't have to tell you guys like how straightforward and how important an offer is, but it's not the Alex Hermosi approach, right? Or not typically is what you're thinking, which we'll go through in kind of like this program. Become an expert, right? Scale your content, automate your sales process, set appointments, give value, create your 7-figure program, bonus, fire yourself. Again, I'm just kind of touching on this. We go more into depth in the program if you guys, choose to move forward, right? Road from 50K to 100K is kind of a private mastermind or one-on-one approach. But the road from 0 to 30K is quite simple, right? You're taking away the principles, the automated sales process. We're kind of doing things in terms of more a manual approach to uncover your own content framework that works, right? Because it's not typical for agency owners in our space to do something like this, right? So to start off with, it would be to create different pieces of content, different messaging, different tonalities, different cadences. Again, we go over here in the program to uncover a content framework that works for you, sell, and then create, right? So that leads to exponential growth. So that way we're not necessarily wasting our time building something that people don't even freaking want. You know what I mean? We prove the concept and then make it, right? So the mindset from 0 to 30K a month is imperfect action. Done is better than perfect. I don't have to tell you guys this, right? Most of you guys are already in your online business or entrepreneurial careers. Imperfect action. People on the call here are already taking that. So continue to do that, right? Focus. Step number 2, grow exponentially. Focus 80% of your day on content creation, driving traffic, building relationships. These have the biggest impact for not only yourself as agency owners, which if you do focus on this, you'll start to separate yourselves from the pack, right? I'm proud to say that, when it comes to aesthetics and med spas and stuff like that, and plastic surgery, like, people look my way because I've developed a personal brand for aesthetics, right? Where the people just starting out that are just doing an offer, right? 60 booked appointments in 60 days, or hey, we'll double your revenue or your money back. They can't compete with me. You know what I mean? Because I'm swimming in an ocean, a blue ocean, and they're just kind of swimming with sharks at a red ocean, right? Because everyone's doing the same thing. Trust your instincts, take action, and make mistakes, right? It's not failing if you're learning from it. Here's the thing, right? Execution versus information. Is this it? Or I already know this. This program is not meant to give. This program is not meant to give you new information, right? You guys are online business owners. I'm willing to bet you've paid into programs just like I have. I've spent, quite frankly, hundreds of thousands of dollars on mentorships and all that stuff with gurus, agency gurus that don't even have an agency anymore. let's just be honest, that are just teaching the old ways of doing things, right? I'm actually still doing it, right? So, and you guys are seeing it, right? You guys know what to do. I'm merely here to just remind you on what's more important. The things that'll bring in people that you actually want to work with. Simplicity is better than complexity. Don't get shiny object syndrome. Show up and literally, it's a game, right? View it as a game, and let go of expectations of how fast you'll succeed, because you know that's why that's quite frankly that's what stops a lot of people in their tracks, is like, hey, I have to be successful in like 6 months or whatever, right? Not saying that you won't be. It's just that anxiety of you have to be stops people in their tracks, right? You'll get there as long as you kind of follow the steps. Um, and if you join this program, right, part of it too is like weekly coaching calls, staying accountability, being in a community with like-minded individuals, that you can share your wins and all that good stuff, right? So it's your time to crush it. Let's get to work. So what I promised you guys here is an actual kind of real life scenario of the things that I'm doing. So let's get into that. But before we do, any questions on kind of what we went over? Want to make sure you guys get the value, and then also it gives me time to pull some stuff up. So any questions on that? Awesome. So as far as the authority funnel is concerned, I still do that here. So if you see, pulling back the curtain on even my own things, right? Um, we create content strategically. And it's not just creating content for content's sake. Again, we'll go more into this, but to give you guys a kind like an example, right? For even my own clients, we do keyword research based on what people are searching for in their local area, and then we use that to, dictate the scripts for the pieces of content. So um, an example for one of our clients here at my own agency, which we took them from zero, nothing, to 20K a week in rhinoplasty, is one of the keyword, one of the a big search volume in Denver here was rhinoplasty and plastic surgeon. So the script that we gave him was, um, here's 5 things you should ask your plastic surgeon before considering rhinoplasty. And it's as simple as that, right? He created the video. He used his Instagram page as a landing page, um, taken to a virtual consult. So here we actually did a landing page for him, but you can see here it's taken directly to a virtual consult, right? The outcome of that is clients, high ticket clients, and for him, a surgery is like $10,000, right? The outcome is his front desk staff has communicated to us that his prospects feel like he knows him already, right? They're more willing and more open to moving forward with payment plans or anything like that because we've developed his brand, right? For myself, I do the same thing, right? So I create top of funnel content here on my Instagram page. I use paid ads to promote that piece of content. And I have 2 call to actions, right? One is, hey, if you want to know more. So one, I typically start off with giving value for my target audience. And my call to action is this: hey, if you want to know more, just shoot me a follow and scroll through my past content, right? Getting leads through follows, right? And once I get those follows, we remarket to them middle funnel and bottom of funnel content that leads them to a long form piece of content, right? So if you look here, let me pull it up. If you look here at even my own for my agency, right? It is a long form piece of content where I talk about the things that I mentioned in this call, right? And again, I'm not using any complicated sales funnels. You know what I mean? I use high level to a small degree, but really it's Instagram page, YouTube, right? To indoctrinate them. And it's just a simple video to my virtual consult, right? So actionable steps for you guys here on the call. If you wanted to implement this, one, I would join our free community, or I would join our agency community. Um, it's where we do weekly calls, right? Where we go over kind of the content frameworks on yourself, on how to attract affluent clients with discretionary income for your own agency, and also how we structure that for our clients, right? Um, but if you were to do that without this group, here's what I would do is one, whatever niche that you're in, do keyword research based on what they're searching for. So say for instance, well, let's just take agency owners as an example, right? If you're doing aesthetics, I would search for keyword research. I would keyword research things that aesthetic clinic owners are searching for, right? It could be Botox marketing, it could be Morpheus 8 marketing, but I would encourage you to go a little bit deeper on that, right? So industry language. So for instance, for aesthetics, it's like, how do we increase revenue per guest? Or how do we sell high ticket transformation offers? Or it could be, how do we sell monthly memberships at our clinic, right? That's something that an actual clinic owner, a more established clinic owner would be searching for. That's just an example for the niche of aesthetics. You would still follow those same principles if you were like a content agency or you're an HVAC agency, same principles apply, right? Based on the search volume that you uncover, I would plug into ChatGPT, right? It's the easiest thing to do. And we actually go through that in our program. A script that encompasses those keywords so we can one enter in the conversation that's already being had in your target demographics minds, right? So we can create the best piece of content possible. But then also an added benefit for Instagram is headed more towards an SEO focused platform anyway for organic engagement. So it's stacking our efforts there, right? Creating a piece of content that attracts individuals to kind of that search query and filming yourself talking about that. And here's a framework of a hook is here's for aesthetics, here's 5 things you should ask your plastic surgeon before considering rhinoplasty. Or it could be here's 5 things you should ask your uh, an agency before considering their services. Imagine that, right? If you create and then attribute that back to the niche that you're trying to target. Imagine that and running a paid ad towards that with not even a sales CTA, but it's like, hey, if you want to know more about making the right decision, just shoot me a follow and scroll through my past content, right? Putting a small budget to that piece of content, and then as the follows and DMs roll in, set the appointments for your own agency services and sell them that way, right? That's the easiest thing that I can give you without joining this program. But again, if you do join our Scale Back Your Time agency program, we go more into depth on how we structure our content from an agency perspective and also how we structure it from our client's perspective. So not only are we as agency owners attracting affluent clients with discretionary income, profiting more while doing less, we also give that to our clients so they stay on longer. They're doing more fulfillment on their end, right? Because they have to create the content. And we deliver a better product because at this point in time, especially for local Legion, I haven't seen much agency owners doing it this way, right? So everyone here watching this has the ability to capitalize on their own niche, while other agency owners from other agency owner groups who are learning from gurus that don't even have an agency anymore are teaching old ways of just churn and burn, right? Sell, sell, sell. That's not the life that I live. And hopefully, if you're watching this, that's not the life that you want for yourself. So hopefully you found this masterclass valuable to you guys. I'll include a link on people that haven't joined the program just yet on how to enter in. And yeah, hopefully I see you on the inside. We'll see you guys.